Cheers! If you're building something meaningful, a business, a body of work, a life you care about, and you feel like people push your time, question your value, or expect access without real commitment, this conversation is for you. I have decided to break down personal branding essentials, and I created 5 parts, 5 video series. So this will be part 1. And you're going to start something simple but very uncomfortable. In this video, I will share how boundaries shape your personal brand. Your personal brand is not built by what you say about yourself. It is built by what you tolerate. How people speak to you, how they value your time, how they treat your work, how they negotiate with you or try to. Most people think personal branding is about visibility. But visibility without boundaries doesn't create authority. It creates burnout, resentment, and confusion. Here's the truth most people miss. People don't respect explanations. They respect standards. And every time you over-explain, over-give, over-negotiate, you quietly teach people how to treat you. And I have to give a shout out to one of my best clients, Alesia B here, because in our meeting last week, we were talking about some strategies about her branding work, and she said this to me. She said, this is a lifelong lesson. If we always keep this in mind, we will have best communications in the world. The statement goes like this. People teach you how to treat them. So true. When she said it, we were like, yes, this is so true. We learn how to treat people based on what they share with us and what we tolerate as well. So you have the power to teach people how to treat you in a positive way or a negative way. Strong personal brands don't start with content. They start with boundaries. And that's what I do with my clients too. When we work together, I make sure that they stand in their core, in their personality, and don't say yes to things that doesn't match with their goals, their branding goals, their speaking goals. In this video, I will share how boundaries shape your personal brand. Why they matter more than motivation and confidence. And how owning them changes the way people show up around you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought, if I just explain myself a little better, they will understand? That belief alone keep people stuck for years. Because every time you show up, you are already teaching people how to treat you. Not with long explanations, but with your behavior. The way you communicate, the way you manage your emotions, the way you respond when somebody crosses a line. That message becomes your brand. And this is where authenticity matters. Because boundaries that are not authentic, not comes from you, don't actually hold. They turn into defense, into rigidity, into control. Authentic boundaries are different. They don't come from fear or being used. They come from clarity about who you are and what you are no longer willing to abandon. When boundaries are authentic, they don't feel loud or aggressive. They feel calm, grounded, and most importantly, non-negotiable. That calm is not weakness. That calm is authority. Let's talk about how boundaries show up in your work. The first one is emotional boundaries. Your emotional regulation is part of your brand. How you handle pressure, how you respond to criticism, how you stay grounded when things don't go as planned. People trust leaders who are calm, clear, and steady. Not reactive, defensive, or constantly trying to prove themselves, trying to explain themselves. Calm clarity is authority. Another powerful boundary is clarity. How clear you are about what you do or what you don't do, who you work with, how you work, and what results you help create. Structure and organization are not just productivity tools. They are branding tools. They quietly say, this person knows what they're doing. I have to say this. I often receive feedback from my clients. They say, I admire how organized you are. I always know what it comes. We always have our meeting agendas and what is missing, what we need to do, what are the action items. So this itself is very important for you to have as an entrepreneur, speaker, coach. You need to keep things organized so that it will be part of your brand and success. Now let's talk about where boundaries get tested the most. Money. Your pricing is not just a number. It's a statement. It reflects your self-respect, your confidence, and your professionalism. For a long time, I believed explaining more would help. That if I justified my process or softened my boundaries, which I've done a lot in the past, people would understand. They didn't. Because explanation invites negotiation. Standards invite respect. Here's what changed everything for me. I stopped negotiating in ways that disrespected my work. I stopped over-explaining my process. I stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. When someone tries to get the most out of you with the least investment, that's not curiosity. That's entitlement. And entitlement only exists where it's tolerated. Here is the core truth. People only do what you allow. People only do what you allow. It's true. When someone crosses a line, your response decides what's next. Sit with this. Sit with this statement and think through your life, personal, professional. Think of the patterns. Think of what's happening. What creates a snowball? What makes it worse or what makes it better? Your response. If you stand firm, calmly, clearly, confidently, one of two things happens. They respect it and stay, or they leave. Second one is most common one because people can't stand with someone who has strong boundaries and confident that they lack of. But both are wins. You will win anytime. You don't need to convince anyone. They came to you. You get to choose who belongs in your space. And this doesn't stop at work. Like I mentioned, your personal life follows the same patterns. What you tolerate, what you excuse, what you normalize. Your personal brand doesn't turn off when the workday ends. And I talked about this a lot too. You are your brand when you are in a business meeting. You are also your brand when you are at a grocery store, shopping, or at a coffee shop with your friend. You walk with your brand. So what you tolerate in your business or personal life is your brand. Integrity is consistency. And this is why boundaries are not about being hard. They are about being honest. First, being honest with yourself. What can I tolerate? What can I not tolerate? You have to sit with it and ask yourself, how do you want people to see you? And how do you want people to treat you? Authenticity means you don't set boundaries to look confident, you set them to stay aligned. You stop negotiating with your worth, not to prove strength, but to remain in integrity with yourself. So if you want a strong personal brand, start here. Set standards, communicate clearly, own your work and worth. Protect your energy, stop negotiating your worth. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. How you have a good coffee machine and a good filter, your coffee tastes better. But without filter, it would look like a mold, right? So you need to have filters, and a good one, authentic one. Filters, they remove what doesn't align. So what truly belongs can stay. This is Personal Brand Essentials Part 1, Boundaries. And this is where real authority begins. So stay tuned for the second one, third one, and fourth one, and fifth one, and then I will have a bonus. So we have a total 6-week journey on personal branding. And if you want to learn how to set strong boundaries, you can watch the next video, and I'll see you there. Cheers.